Welcome to Papa's house.
Oh, no.
Folks, this is a very exciting night. I'm sure you're all well aware of what the clock striking 9 means on a Wednesday night here. Folks, it's Local Limelight, and we're bringing you the hottest local talent. Hold up. Yep, can't control the excitement in the room here. It's pretty electric right now.
It is pretty electric.
Very electric. I'm excited to be here, that's for sure, though. And I have some friends with me in the studio and a very notable returning guest.
Oh, very notable.
I think you'll recognize her right away. Who's to my right now?
That's me. That's okay. I thought you were going to introduce the guest, and I was like, I'm not the guest. I am me.
I very much operationalized that question.
Okay.
Who is to my right? And that would
I know.
I'm
not
just
sure
where the confusion came
just
from.
the way you're like, oh, we got a really special guest. And then you're like,
folks, we're gonna have to go off air.
Oh my god, I have to actually beat Sam up real quick.
Hold up, folks. We are having a bit of a miscommunication. No.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's the mogul here. Local Limelight, ready to go.
Ready to go.
I'm not the guest, so everybody's. If anybody
Well,
else.
you're not the guest. No, I knew that, guys. I'm just kidding. I'm being a kidder. Okay.
Well, who's that over there?
It's DJ EJ.
Whoa.
We out here.
Whoa.
Woo.
And I guess our guest. I guess our guest this week really doesn't need much of an intro, but I'm gonna do it anyway. All right. She is a Rhodes Scholar.
Oh my god.
She was in National Honor Society in high school. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, stop me on any of these. She has killed many like gators and bears in her time.
Gators and bears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both.
At the same time?
She's a traveling hunter.
Yeah. Well, she's not a hunter. She will defend herself. She does not attack.
Okay.
Unless she is. Yeah, it's all defense. She's a black belt karate.
She can juggle.
She can juggle.
She can juggle.
Our guest today is the one and only Julia Kohler.
Hey, what's up, guys?
One of the best intros we've ever had.
Honestly.
Our guest today.
Yeah.
Julia Kohler, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
You're doing great?
Yeah.
Did you prepare a lot for tonight, or what's your tactic? Do you practice like all day before, or do you like totally just not do anything before you have a recital or anything?
Well, I would like to say that I prepared a lot for this, but I didn't.
And that is what makes Julia Kohler great. She doesn't even have to try.
She doesn't. And
that's not true.
And and she's not afraid. Like, she's not like, no, I'm not ready. She's like, no, I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's what I love. She's fearless.
Fearless.
Again, going back to
and this was my doing that she was. I mean, I asked her, like, not.
Right.
Like, it was. I mean, it definitely wasn't like. It's not like I asked her the day before, but I asked her, like, less than a week. So, like.
Crunch time.
Yeah. Like, for, a musician. That's, like.
It is.
Definitely we would not have been offended if she was like, hey,
I
you
really
know what?
can't.
This
I
is
was expecting her to
notice.
say no. So, honestly.
Gotta
No,
support
Julia.
your
Real
friends.
MVP.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Well, hey, when Limelight calls, you deliver.
That is true.
I'm pretty sure we're trying to get that.
If you want
trademark.
to call Limelight, what would the number be?
Oh,
wow.
EJ.
I don't know. Did we pay the phone bills this week?
EJ?
EJ, that was
As
your-
producer, that is your job.
Yeah.
I called somebody, but the phone didn't work, so that answers your question.
Well, let's see. Well, if you do want to call, and we certainly invite you to do so, that special number is 724-357-9487. I'll give you another moment here to maybe get your pen or pencil and paper. That number, could I get Sam, the mogul, to read that number?
Sorry, I zoned out for a minute.
Yeah, really.
I'm really sorry. It was 724-357-9487.
87. Remember 94.
The 94. That's confusing.
First,
Maybe
always.
Julia.
In that order.
Julia, is George listening tonight?
I told him he wasn't allowed.
Okay.
I told him he wasn't allowed.
Well, even if he doesn't hear it, shout out to George.
Shout out to George. I was gonna say he could call in.
Yeah.
But if he's not listening, he won't.
Might be tough.
That might be hard.
Yeah.
I love this. Julia's like, I already have that planned out. He is not allowed to listen.
I said nope.
Yeah.
Nope. And George is so sweet. Like, he's not going to.
Right.
It's like, you know what I mean? He's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to listen anyway. Like, he's
Right.
not. There's no way he's listening right now.
Oh, no doubt in my mind. Well, for those of us, we all are very familiar with Julia Cooler, and probably most of you. But just in case we have new listeners to the new season of Local Limelight, this year, folks, this is gonna be bananas.
This is gonna be
We've
bananas.
got T-Pain. We've got
what?
Lil Baby. We've got Megan Thee Stallion. We've got all
I
the,
wish.
No,
Can
I'm
you
kidding.
imagine?
No, but we do have Julia Cooler on tonight, and we are so excited for this new season.
Yeah, it's gonna be bonkers. We're really trying to rebrand.
Well, we're not trying to rebrand. I think we're just trying to continue growing as a.
Yeah, I guess maybe. I think
just do better.
We're trying to do brand in general.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so those of us going back to what I actually wanted to say, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm so excited. But for those of us who may be new to the show, Julia Cooler, would you be able to introduce yourself? Maybe tell us what you study, what you do on a daily basis. Like, what are you doing at IUP? Anything else that might seem important to help people get to know you?
So, I study music education here at IUP. I'm saxophone focused. I'll be going on to get a saxophone performance degree in about 2 years. Yeah.
2 years.
I have a pretty heavy background in keyboard. I'm an organist and a pianist, kind of. Yeah.
Are they, so that's interesting, just a little distinction you made, is like organ theory versus like piano theory and like training, like are they significantly different?
So I started taking piano lessons when I was 3 or 4. And I loved that for a long time, but then I started taking organ lessons when I was about 16. And fundamentally, they're the same kind of idea. Like, it's a keyboard instrument, you know, you have the white keys and the black keys.
Yeah.
It's just the technique is different. Like, when I started taking piano lessons here, Dr. Wangdo was like, you play like an organist. And I was like, that's because I am.
Yeah, what's it to you?
But yeah, you can definitely tell just by the way someone holds their hands.
Well, I noticed you also, when you were listing the instruments you play, you started with keyboardist and then you said organ and pianist. So I'm guessing that all three have like a different type of like skills you need to be able to play them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did a lot of percussion in high school with like marimba. Thought I was going to be a percussion major for a while. And I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Saxophone.
The saxophone's beautiful.
It really is. That could not be denied.
No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Thank you for introducing yourself. You are clearly a very versatile artist, as you showed last fall when you were on the show, which is on YouTube. Everybody, if you want to go listen, go back in time, because that was a previous time of Limelight. That is when we still had Jake Yeomans on the show. God bless him.
God bless him, honestly.
God bless that man. I say that a lot, and like a lot of times I don't really mean it.
What?
But seriously, God bless Jake Yeomans, if there's ever somebody.
No, honestly.
So,
Agreed.
Yes. You can go back and listen to that edition or that episode, and you'll find kind of fundamentally what Julia's about. What are you thinking about tonight? What did you bring for us?
So I have a Fleet Foxes song. Whoa. Anyone that knows me knows that I love Fleet Foxes.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. It's a song called Blue Spotted Tail. And in the middle, I'm going to have a song that I wrote this week.
Wow.
Don't have a name
So
for it.
fresh off the tracks.
Fresh off the griddle.
Yeah.
Is this a debut for this song?
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh
folks.
my God.
Oh wow, folks, you should feel honored because this is a big moment.
This is a big moment.
It's like finished, but I wouldn't say it's in its final form. I usually take like a few months to change some things.
Is it ever in its final form? I feel
No.
like listening to artists like perform their own songs like throughout the years, they always change.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like they add different like harmonies or
Right.
Yeah.
it's just like that. Even different instrument parts.
It's always a work in progress.
Yeah, because art ever finished?
Folks, we'll be right back. No,
we're
just
getting
kidding.
really meta right now.
Yeah.
Is art ever really finished?
We'll answer that question right after the break.
Right after the break.
Just kidding. Julia?
Sorry. And then at the end, I have a Tom York song. If you're not familiar with Tom York, he's the lead singer of Radiohead. Call me basic, but that's my favorite band of life.
It's okay.
So I'm a huge Tom York fan. And this is from the movie soundtrack he did for, what is it called?
I'm not familiar.
Suspiria or whatever. And that song's called Unmade.
Wow.
And I've just really, I think I talked about it last time I was on the show. I was like, you have to listen to this track, Jake. Like, it's fire. But yeah, I'm going to play it this time.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
That is
all I
that
can
is
say.
excited.
growth. That is growth.
That's honestly fantastic. I have to say, every time we've had a lot of artists on this show that have brought up Radiohead, and every single time I'm like, well, crap, I cannot
Radiohead's fantastic. You should get on
relate
that.
to this.
Yeah, I know a
conversation
lot
at
of
all.
people. A lot of people that like I highly respect. Like Radiohead, and a lot of people I don't highly respect. So it's a wild card. Like there's a lot of people that I really despise that are huge fans of Radiohead. So it's like
Right.
it's a really like hard. But like everybody that I admire is always fans of Fleet Foxes. Like that's how I know. Or like Bon Iver. Like those. Like I can always trust those. But like Radiohead has always been one where it's like both.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Would you agree with that?
I would
Julia?
agree with that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Radiohead can have two different.
Yeah.
I've never listened to Radiohead, but I don't know if Julia, you can correct me. I feel like Radiohead has kind of like a couple different, like,
Types of like
feelings.
followers where it's like,
yeah, I feel like that's because there's so many different stages of Radiohead. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
Like
definitely
they've been
agree.
around for a good chunk
Yeah.
of time at this point.
Yeah.
So they've gone through acoustic stages, more electronic stages,
Okay,
minimalist
computer.
stages.
Huh.
So yeah, I think there's something for a lot of people. I wouldn't say there's something for everyone, but there's something for a lot of people,
Yeah.
and that's why there's such a
Sure.
diverse range of personalities. when
yeah.
it
I
comes to
mean,
these
that's
bands.
probably what makes them so popular. Because it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And you can never tell because usually you can look at people who are like, oh, well, they like this. Or I find that Rush fans are very stereotypical. But I've never, yeah, if someone likes Rush, it's usually a certain type of person. But I feel like anyone could say that they like Radiohead. I'd be like, yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Julia, do you feel like you could maybe start us off with a song here?
Yeah.
So we can stop talking and listen to some,
Get listening.
some beautiful tunes.
All right. So this is Blue Spotted Tail by Fleet Foxes.
All right, whenever you're ready.
You can.
the city only for a while. Why in the night sky are the lights hung? Why is the earth moving round the sun? Floating in the vacuum with no purpose, not a one. Why in the night sky are the lights hung?
Oh wow.
Okay, folks, we may need to get some tissues in here.
I need to
folks.
we have to go off air for a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Sam,
definitely-
go ahead, EJ.
I was saying, I heard the first few notes. I was like, oh, because like you forget how good people are. You hear their names, but then when you hear the first note, you're like, oh wait, like this is it.
Yeah, I
You
haven't
know?
heard Julia Kohler sing live for a long time, and I think it
Mhm.
was like really, it got real there for a minute.
Yeah, this studio is like, there's some energy happening in here, and it is a lot to handle, to
It
be
is.
honest.
No,
and
it is.
especially live on air here. But Sam, I saw you had some very, very physical, like, gestural reactions to that performance.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about what you were feeling there?
No.
Okay.
You know.
You're like, yep, no, didn't.
It was just like, I think I was just, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to not cry
I was holding
I
back
noticed
tears.
it.
audibly. If you
Yeah.
heard me, and if you heard any little
Mhm.
rustles, that was definitely me trying to be like.
Are you for serious?
I'm being
they
real.
were
are
really,
very for
really
serious.
out here.
There's something so like beautiful and haunting about Julia's voice
Yeah.
in particular. I don't
It
know.
resonates too.
It
and you're
really
just like-
does.
Yeah, there's something like.
Yeah. When did you start singing? Or I guess you could take that multiple ways, but like singing in front of people.
I was always really insecure about my voice. In 8th grade, I, for some reason, did the talent show. I played
I relate to that.
Bon Iver's version of "I Can't Make You Love Me."
Mm.
I love that song so much. It's probably one of my favorite songs of
Yeah.
life.
That would sound so good coming from Julia. I'm picturing it.
It was terrifying for me.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I'd
sure.
say that was the only time I sung in front of anyone until college.
Mm. Wow.
I'm very, I perform all the time. I'm very out there with my classical studies.
Right.
But songwriting and like covering more
Yeah.
recent songs, that's just like a hobby for me. So it's more of like it's an introspective kind of thing.
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't do it very often.
Yeah.
Because it's not like my career
Right.
path. I'm not super.
Yeah.
It's more for me than anyone else.
Right. Which I think.
I think that makes it more pleasant to listen to because you're not doing it for anybody else. You're like, this is mine. And then the fact that you share it is very nice for everyone else because they're like, oh, you're like allowing us to see how you see things, especially with like original stuff, but even covers because you're like, oh, I relate to this in some way.
Yeah, it's very like you're not putting on a show.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's very like. I think that's why your voice resonates so well because it's like we can feel it. Like everyone, it's very raw.
Yeah.
There's no, like, especially live. Like there's
Right.
something about it live that
Mhm.
it's very like.
Because I definitely see your stuff on the internet once in a while. I'm like, oh, this is really good. But like hearing you live is way different. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
you know.
It's different. So,
Uh,
were you gonna ask
Nah,
a question?
I just needed an audible.
Oh.
I love it. So for you, performing your like classical stuff or stuff that you study here at IUP, does that resonate differently with you, or does that cultivate like a different set of emotions when you're performing versus what you're doing right now, or
Yeah, so what I actually study, like in school, it's kind of like math.
Mhm.
It's kind of like math or like really trying to paint a perfect portrait.
Yeah.
everything's really calculated. I mean, sure, there's some creative freedoms, but, you know, you're playing it. You're trying to play music the way that someone wants you to play it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that can get really stressful. If you can't play something a certain way, then you're like, well, am I really a musician? Can I actually do this, like,
right,
long term?
I definitely. Oh, sorry, I cut you.
No, go ahead.
I was just to say, like, I started to learn. I took a music theory class in like high school. I started to learn it, and at first I was like, oh, this isn't like. It's like, oh, you have to do it this way, but really it's just kind of like a toolbox and you can use it for other things. So I feel like if I would have just been stuck with music theory, I would have felt like constricted. So I guess, do you ever feel that way with like learning it a certain way, like in a class? Or
Yeah, I'm really, really passionate about music theory. I don't know why, because most people hate it, but I talk about this a lot. Whenever I meet someone that loves to write but knows nothing about music, I get excited because they can just listen. Like, they can follow their ears. They're not thinking about, 145 or like all these numbers that run across my mind.
Yeah.
So I think it's, I mean, you would expect me to be kind of like an elitist where I'm like, ooh, like, you don't even know what you're doing. You know, like,
that is Julia in
you
real
know,
life.
No,
Just
this
kidding.
is just a.
No, I'm
This is
kidding.
there was a
facade.
point in my life where everything I learned was from my ears. And things weren't so concrete to me.
Yeah.
So when I see that in someone else, I get really excited. You know, obviously I'm for being educated in classical music. Otherwise I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
And I have so much fun studying it, and there's nothing else in this world that I'm more passionate about. But I have like an appreciation for both worlds.
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah. I was just say I always thought it was super cool that because one of my favorite types of music is prog and like Dream Theater. So they do really weird odd time signatures, and like it's really cool that they just take music theory stuff and then put it with a bunch of metal.
Yeah.
But then it just feels like there's so much. When I tried to learn music theory, but then I felt like I'm not fully understanding it. But the people that can understand it, I think of it as a whole other language too. So like I see the math thing, but I don't think I got far enough in it to see too much of it. I more saw it as like a language.
Yeah.
I guess. 'Cause
Yeah, it is a language.
it's easier to talk to people like classical, like other people that play classical music. You could tell them something in terms of music theory stuff and they'd understand it.
Yeah.
And I know before I learned it, I would try to talk to other musicians like, hey, do this, and they wouldn't know what I was talking about. So it kind of gives like a language for everyone to like. I think there's pros and cons of it, if that makes sense.
No, I feel that way with audio. I think audio is the same way where it's like it's physics.
Yeah, it literally is.
It's
Yeah.
physics. So it's
And
like it's trying to make physics work and understand that, and like it's not always going to be, you know what I mean? Like every situation's different. Like sometimes it isn't always concrete.
I didn't even
And
think about that. That's pretty much physics. Like that's what that is.
it's what it is. It's because it's sound waves like bouncing off each other,
right.
and the way that they bounce off, like, you know what I mean, in the room you're in, the environment, there's all these factors that affect it. And so it's like learning that language of like how do you communicate what you need to do.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. There is a completely different vocabulary and a completely different like mental map of your surroundings that is required, if that makes sense.
No,
Coming
definitely.
from somebody who does not play music or knows nothing about audio. But that's just, if I feel like for all the people who feel lost, maybe I can try to
Yeah, you can
relate
be
to
the liaison. Like you can like be
Yeah.
like the middleman
so
here.
here's what my investigation shows me. No, just kidding.
Investigation.
No, but it's.
But-
I mean, it's just. I mean, there's probably a lot of things that are like that. Like I don't know
Fascinating.
anything about the language of business.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, or as my best friend calls it, like accounting is language of business. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. There's probably a lot of different like. I don't know. John speaks Spanish. None of us speak Spanish. That's
Yeah.
actually a language that you can. There's a ton of like.
I feel like he has to speak Spanish now.
Yeah, I know. I felt very pressured
felt-
there.
No,
but
I'm sorry.
we're
No.
gonna move on.
No. I was using that as an example of like there's many languages in the you know what? But does everyone understand what I'm trying to say?
I do.
More of the story, John can speak Spanish
It's
and
a
we can't.
fascinating dynamic, but I think that is very interesting. Going back to what you said, Julia, about people who can almost like hear it and not, I guess, know it. I feel like almost like that would be like a perfect person to work with as someone coming from a musical theory background. Do you find that to be like a somewhat of a truth, or is that?
If you know Jake Yeomans, he
Oh,
has
do we know Jake?
wonderful ears.
Yeah,
Great ears. He's not listening right now, probably. But if
I wish he
were,
was.
Jake, you have great ears. And I know he would always get kind of insecure when we would try and write together, because he was like, I don't know this stuff. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
But he is truly the best person I've ever written with.
My God.
Oh.
I love how this show, every episode.
We have to bring up. We're like Jake
Devolves.
Yeomans.
he is.
We're on two completely different ends of the spectrum.
Right.
Mhm.
Not saying that he is incompetent and doesn't. That's not what I'm saying.
But he has a
Just
different-
two different worlds.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was just great.
It's kind of like that movie where like the
Oh no.
it's like where the really classically trained ballerina like falls in love with like the street
rocker dude.
the street hip hop
Yeah.
There's
dancer.
definitely another movie where a girl played like the cello. And
Oh,
then she
yeah, I
felt
thought you were talking
I
about
thought
that.
she played cello and he was in like a
Yeah.
rock band, and then the
Wait.
whole family like died in the car. But
Yeah,
like-
that was Camp Rock,
What?
right?
No, that was If I Stay. Wasn't it If I Stay?
Yeah.
It's definitely
Yeah,
Camp
that movie
Rock.
was the only. Okay, I cry once a year. That movie got me bad.
Yeah, I think I was talking about Step Up. I
Yeah.
think that was the
Oh.
dance. That was the
Oh
dance
my
movie.
God.
I was thinking about that one with the cello because that movie got me. Like I did drama classes, and anytime I had to cry, I thought about that movie. I was like, because again, like so, we're not gonna get into it.
No, but like you see, like
Yeah.
it's like the street. Like Jake is like the street hip hop dancer, and like
Yeah.
and Julia is like the classically trained
Trained.
ballerina. But somehow
Mhm.
they like fall in love.
Oh,
Right.
Except
Well,
we're
They're not in love.
except
But
for
like,
that.
but like, but
Let's
like
set the
they.
record straight.
I love that.
Because
It
I
just
could see
works.
how people could.
George
get
is
slightly-
actually listening, and
Yeah.
he's like,
George
Wait.
is livid.
Yeah.
George calls our number immediately.
George.
Huh? Who's this Jake Yeomans kid?
George.
I
please
know
don't
how to
get
hip
the
hop
wrong-
dance too.
Yeah. No, George, please don't get the wrong idea.
No, but like like where they like meet in the middle.
Right.
You know what I mean? They find
I
common
understand.
ground.
I understand.
I just
Well,
think that's just a funny comparison.
It is a very funny comparison, and I think it's getting us off track here because
Indeed.
we need to get some more Julia Kohler,
That is
specifically her music here in the show tonight. Would you like to take it away again for us?
Yeah. So this one is the one that I wrote. I don't have a name for it. It's probably the first song that I've completed in 6 months.
All right.
Songwriting has kind of taken a back burner because
Mhm.
of saxophone competitions, but here we are.
Well, thank you very much, Julia. And I'm just going to, I just wanted to say before we hear her performance that you've got it tuned into 90, what am I saying?
90.1.
90.1 WIUPFM. And this is your only source for local, alternative, dope music.
What's the name of the show?
This is Local Limelight.
Sorry, you were going to say that anyway.
No, I was about to say that. 90.1 WIPFM, Local Limelight. You got it tuned in. Take it away, Julia.
Did you love me like the ocean loves the moon, like the flowers love the sunny afternoon? Did you hate me? Was my soul just for the breaking? Was my body for the taking? Stolen gold. Oh, soft faces, warm places, they all grow cold. They won't let you go. Did you talk much about the things I did for you? Not the things you did to me. You're not that bold. let you go.
That's stupid. That is so stupid how good that was.
Oh my God, John. That was beautiful.
Get stupid. That's ridiculous.
Get stupid,
It's
John.
stupid.
I'm sorry.
I like how everyone in the room is like, okay, that's
Yeah, we're like, that was really pretty, and then
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. But no,
That was wonderful.
yeah, I really don't have very many words.
Yeah, we all were kind of
it's
just
just so pretty. I like listen to it before I go into bed or like meditate. Like,
yeah, I felt immediately very like relaxed and
Yeah.
very like at peace.
It's like I found my inner peace.
Okay.
And
all right.
just
I
kidding.
think this is John. You've said too much.
I've
We're
said-
go. All right, Sheila. All right, folks. We're going off air.
No, that was amazing. So that you said is the most recent song that you've been able to complete. How did that song come together? You don't have to get too intimate or personal about it, but like, was there something that inspired it, or you could even talk about like maybe the process a little bit?
I think every autumn I get very nostalgic. I don't know why it's autumn that does it to me, but I think, I mean, I'm only 20 now, but it makes me think about my teenage years.
Autumn, I think, is like a very interesting time of year. Like it's like everything that has been happening for like the past 6 months, you know, from winter, like, oh, the first nice day, and then like the first day of spring where it's like, you know, warm outside and everyone's having fun, and then you have all of summer and all this, and like we're kind of getting into like summer's winding down, but it's still like hot. It's still like really hot,
88
like
degrees
today.
It was hot.
And it's just like random, but like fall is like this abrupt change now. Like everything, I always feel like it's just like such a huge change of pace.
Yeah, I think autumn is associated with just a time of change for a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
I think everything is just associated with change. So yeah, that's makes sense.
That's my 2 cents, but Julia, feel free to disagree or add your part to that.
No, I agree. So I was thinking about how have I changed like since coming to college, and I've changed a lot. I'd say for the better for the most part. I take care of myself emotionally a lot better. I'm more conscious of who I surround myself with,
Amen to that.
who I involve myself with romantically. So yeah, that was kind of a song about how I just questions I would have asked when I was younger, like 17, 18.
Yeah. A lot of questions were going through my head, that's for sure, at that time. But yeah, I really liked that. That was quite profound. I also liked this the slight silence there. That was very dramatic that you threw in there, unintentionally, I'm sure. But I loved it. It honestly worked.
I definitely
so
added.
well.
You're like, oh, well.
I was like, man, Julia's. It's always.
It's always so profound.
Yeah, everything is so profound and so perfect. No, I see what you mean. Soft places. I really liked that. It's like simple, but I knew it helped me understand like exactly what you were talking about. I feel like, I don't know.
Is that a song
Agreed.
title? Is that a song title?
No.
Okay.
No, but
It's more like I'm not a pessimist.
Yeah.
I want to be clear. That was a pretty negative song. But you know, my freshman year of college was really hard. I was very, very naive. I thought everyone was great. I thought, you know, people were on my team. And sometimes the people that you think are the best for you are actually the worst for you. And so like this comfortable place that you had with a friend or like a significant other kind of disappears. It becomes cold and uncomfortable, and you're not sure how to navigate that relationship anymore.
Wow. I could think on that for a while.
Yeah, that was pretty deep.
But
I'm going to think about that for a while.
It does, again, though, that does remind me of autumn in a way, too. Like that, just like overall, like, I mean, not to get like super tangible, but like it's getting colder out.
And you have to feel it.
There's a lot of change. There's a lot of adjustment.
No, I thought about that, especially
the leaves are changing.
The leaves are falling, but like you'll wake up in the morning and you have to wear a jacket, but then by the end of the day you have to take it off. So like there's no choice. So that's what I mean. Like you can relate it to like the friend thing and significant other. Like you go and do it like this, but then there's a point where you're sweating and hot and you have to take off your sweater.
Yeah, it's
so
like a time of just it's like
and you want to hold back.
Uncertainty.
Ooh.
It is.
It's too
I don't
hot.
like how real that is.
Honestly, it's metaphorically and literally it's too much for me. Like
yeah, I don't know.
Emotionally and physically.
Yeah.
Like
I
emotionally,
don't think we have enough time to unpack.
There's a lot of change happening, and it's really a lot. And then also it's what?
Where are you going with this?
Emotionally, it's a lot. And then
we're all just like
we're all very. I'm just like on the edge of my seat waiting to hear.
Physically, it's cold, and then like there's some days when I wake up and I'm freezing, and then at the end of the day, like today,
it's so hot.
It was so hot.
The other day I went to a haunted house. It's like September time, right? Spooky Halloween time. No, it's time for summer again. So stresses me out. I
know. I saw this one thing that was like, remember in like March when we had those few days that were like 70 degrees, and I saw this one thing online that was like this gif of like this guy like dancing and kind of looking worried, and it was like the feeling like me when I'm excited about the warm weather but also really scared about the earth because it's like March and why is it this warm? Like it was.
Yeah, that's honestly a topic that
we can't.
I just can't. We just can't unpack it at
but
this point in time.
No.
But
if I remember correctly, I was crying at John's apartment about a week ago about the environment.
The environmental crisis.
We don't want to. This is just a thing we can't. We could do a whole show on this.
It really is. It's so scary that anytime like we're pondering questions about the future, like, you know, even like something simple as a professor being like, you know, by 2040, you know, we may be a majority minority nation where like there are more minority peoples than like white people. And it's like, yeah, if we're alive by then, like, if there's still
even it's like
an earth that is livable.
I know, even like like that, or even like like my little sister will be the class of like 2023 when she graduates high school. I'm like, if we're still here.
Yeah, mine's 2024, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, she'll go to college and do this with loans, and I'm like, wait, like that's still
or like the point where we have to think about like people like what they're naming their kids, like, oh, like what am I gonna name my kids? It's like, well, I don't even know.
I
don't want to get too excited because I don't even know if that's like a lot of people. I've seen a lot of things online where people are really like people our age, like millennials and Gen Zers, are being like, is it a responsible choice to have children?
No, that is a very valid question. It's interesting to hear that come up. However, I do want to make sure we frame it before we move on that we still have time to do something.
Oh yeah, no, this is just food for thought here.
Yeah, but
I'm not trying to tell the airwaves that we're all doomed.
Yeah, no, but
this is Local Limelight still, folks.
Yeah, this is also Local Limelight, and I did want to bring it back to. I did want to bring the spotlight back on the local talent here, Julia Kohler, a well-known fan of myself. Let's try. Let's try that again, folks. I'm a huge fan. I think we're all huge fans. Campus loves you. Julia Kohler, junior at IUP. I think maybe we haven't, we've been focused on Julia, and that is the star of the show, but how's everybody else doing in the studio?
Oh, I know EJ has a pretty exciting experience to share.
Is your
guys, I auditioned for American Idol on Saturday.
You did?
I did. I did indeed.
That's
How
right.
was that?
Super long story short, I went in. It's in front of the producers, right? There was 5 tables, and I was in line. I left here, Indiana, Pennsylvania, at 4 in the morning. I got there at like 6, and then I got in line, and I was super scared. I saw the American Idol van, and I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I was like, oh no. And then I had to sit there in my head. I'm like, I'm EJ. None of these people are EJ. And I finally made it in line, and then I started talking to the people around me. This one girl, her name was Brittany. She didn't like me very much, but everyone else did. I only remember her name though, so you see how that works.
Yeah.
But I got in line. They had us in groups of 5 go up to the producers. I went up, and I was in my group with 4 other people, so I was the 5th one. But they sang, and the first girl started singing. The producer later cut her off at 15 seconds. We were supposed to have 90 seconds, so I'm like, oh no, like I'm actually about to cry right now. And also the producer that I got, she wasn't paying attention. She was looking at, like, we were divided by curtains, but she was looking at everything else except for what I was doing. I was like, oh no. But then she cut off the second girl at like 30 seconds, and then she cut off the next girl also at like 30 seconds, and she was fantastic. Like, I was like, oh yeah, she'll do fine. But then she got to me, and I was like, if she tells me that's enough, I think I'm gonna cry. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I did not cry. So she had me sing, and the whole song, she had me sing the whole song. So I didn't even get cut off. And I was like, oh, heck yeah.
Nice.
So then she was like, because I sang an original, she goes, do you have a cover? And I said, yeah. So then I sang a cover. And she goes, do you happen to have one more, like a chorus or something? So I sang another song. Then she's like, anything else? Like, can you? And so I sang a whole nother song. She had me sing 4 songs. So I was thinking in my head, like, oh, this is like good. She cut everyone else off. She brought us up and was like, I'm sorry, but like, you guys aren't making it through. And then she was like, it's because each producer has to look for something specific because it's a TV show. So she's like, if you go to a different city, or if you would have got a different producer, who knows what could have happened. And she definitely looked at me. If you had me sing 4 songs, why did you have me sing 4 songs? And then I'm thinking maybe she was thinking like, oh, well, maybe I can make this work and fit when I need, but it just wasn't it. But like, I took that as a win.
Yeah.
Because everyone else got cut off at 15 seconds, and I got to sing 4
great.
songs. I was like, heck yeah. And it was a fun experience, and I'm totally going to do it. Like, that doesn't deteriorate me at all. I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to
keep doing it again.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
It was an experience. It really was.
Thank you for the update. You're right. That is awesome. That's an accomplishment. Your voice has been heard.
Yeah, she heard.
Screw American Idol, though. Don't get me wrong. From Big Play J here in Local Limelight.
Well, that's what they were saying. They were like, if you get through, you have to go do like 3 hours paperwork. But if you don't, then you come out to your parents, and your parents tell you, oh, American Idol sucks. And I was like, oh my. Well, she had something specific she was looking for, and I was not it.
What are they like? What do you mean, like specific? Like a specific sound?
I don't.
I think
that's
she
what she
wanted
said.
EJ to be the next Travis Scott auto-tune queen.
Well, they're looking for like certain people. I guess they have people that come in and like they want this person to be like the idol of America. As per se, and they were like, yeah, EJ in it. So I was just like, but the thing is again, she had me keep singing, so I have a feeling that it was because like, and I had a friend help me because I was so stressed on trying to pick a good song because like again, they told me 90 seconds and most get cut off at like 30. So I was like,
what song? Wait, what original did you?
I did Million Times. I started with that one because some of the lyrics I was like, I like this one a lot. And then I sang an Oliver Tree cover because it was like relevant.
Heck yeah.
Woo. And then I sang Never Gonna Give You Up, but she only had me sing the chorus of that one. And she was like feeling, I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do paperwork. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. But
that makes me so, I'm so disappointed.
But like, that's fine. Like I had a good experience. Like,
good.
What would have if you would have made it? So this was like the second round of Under. Like you made the first round.
Well, the first round. Well, also I forgot my pass. So I actually sent in a video. So they had me have a pass, and you're supposed to skip the line. I didn't print that out. I also lost my headshot. So somewhere around Pittsburgh is my headshot.
Oh my god.
Well, I had it in my folder, and then I definitely went to the bathroom. So sometime in between the bathroom and I lost my headshot. But I also lost the pass beforehand. I was like, I'll just wait in the line. It didn't take too long. The whole ordeal was probably 3 hours. That same night I went to a haunted house and waited 4. So like,
yeah,
whatever.
What a day.
Yeah.
So okay, so like
hours.
if you would have made it this round, would you have gone to like the?
After this one, I fill out paperwork, and then you do it in front of the Katy
Okay,
Perry.
so that's like the real.
But then it gets me because on TV they're like, oh, they've been waiting all day. Also, they actually like film you, and then they're like, guys, I need you guys to look this way as we're walking in. They're like, look triumphant. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now. So and then they have you sign release forms. So like maybe I'll be in a promo or something. I don't know. But
look out for that, folks.
I know. You should. Now I'm excited. I want you to do it again next year.
Yeah.
They've gone to Pittsburgh. They went 2 years ago. They didn't come to Pittsburgh last year. But if you think I won't drive, like,
Yeah,
It's
well,
fun.
do they go to Philly? Like, do they go to
Perhaps.
Philadelphia?
I don't really know.
So I'm saying if they're going to Cleveland or something, I think you should try again.
Oh yeah.
I'm all for it. I
Well,
want
the producer lady too. She was just like, "Hey, like, don't take this as like a no, like." So she was trying, I think.
Yeah.
But you know who else
Yeah.
is trying? I think we should get some Julia up in here.
Yeah, that was a long.
Trying fantastically, by the way.
Do you feel
Yeah, I'm good.
You're
all
good.
right?
Just had to. It's like a
Different size.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very about.
I
feel-
apologize. This is
No.
shout out to Kate Apollonio, by the way, real quick for donating her high quality Yamaha keyboard to the show tonight.
Yeah,
Appreciate
it was
ya.
really
Yeah.
epic.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to anyone who doesn't know what the opposite of in is. I'm so
Oh, is
funny.
that
That's
what
pretty
you
good.
I'm sorry.
No,
I think that was the first pun of the night. And it landed pretty well.
it did.
Heck yeah.
All right.
All right.
Whenever you're ready, Julia.
Okay. Under my wing, little bird. Come under my wing, little bird. Unmade, I swear there'll be nothing up my sleeves, and then back again. Swear there's nothing unmade. There's no faces, won't grow back again. Unmade. 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 Come under my wings, little bird. Come under my wings, little bird. Unmade. Unmade.
Oh wow,
Oh wow. That's
Oh, wow.
what a great way to end it. I think.
Yeah.
I think I have no words.
That is fantastic. We are unfortunately coming very close to that time, about that time where we got to say goodnight, but I think we all are in agreement here. Thank you so much, Julia, for
Yeah,
blessing
thank you.
our
That
ears.
was wonderful. I really liked the piano, the accompaniment to that. I really liked a lot.
Yeah.
It was very had a very cool little melody to it that I.
I'm unfamiliar with the song. Is it could you describe the original? Is it? It's not. Is it also a piano?
Yeah, it's a piano.
It's the same. Okay.
So it was written for a horror movie. It's in this format called open voicing, and in open voicing, that's just kind of how the notes are placed. It makes things sound really eerie and empty and hollow.
Gotcha.
And like the way that he wrote it with a lot of the parallel intervals also makes it kind of dissonant and kind of it's a different kind of sound.
Right,
it is. No,
it does.
I even picked up on that, and it was like, no, I can imagine it.
I would love to have a conversation. Well, let me go back. I would love to just like listen to music and then talk about it with Julia, because you're like so.
You put it into words.
Yeah, like articulate about things where like I think I know, like I hear it in my head and through my ears, but like having the words and the language to describe it is like
explaining
fascinating.
Why? Yeah. No, I feel that way with audio. Like certain things, like there's certain recording techniques you can use to make things sound creepy or sound old, like it's on an old radio, like, or you can make them sound muffled. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things like that, and it's like you think that's just like an effect, but it's like no, these are just like techniques used to. And I think music, again, they're very similar. So that'd be really cool.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I guess before we close out the show, I think it's always nice to just bring it back home. You know, just talk about what's on our minds, what's going on around us. Just kind of relax before we sign off. What were you going to say, EJ?
I paid my speeding ticket, guys.
You got a speeding
Okay,
ticket?
you want to hear something? So I got my license like 4 days before I moved in this semester, so woohoo. But on the highway the other day, in the past, it already happened. I drove 100 miles an hour and a 55. But they didn't they didn't. That's what my friend literally looked at me like that and was like, "You could have gotten a felony." And then I spent forever Googling it. And I could have got arrested. And there's no way that she could have been like, "Oh, you weren't," because I was. I was like, "Meow." Anyways, I didn't go that. And then my friend, they were like, "Don't do that ever again." So next time I'm driving home, I thought I was in a 65 and I was going 75. And I was like, "Oh, it's fine." I look up, I see the lights. I was like, "Am I getting pulled over?" And my friend Ashley's like, "Yeah, EJ, you're getting pulled over." So I pulled over, and then I sat there, and is she getting out of her car yet? And my friend goes, "You might want to put the vehicle in park." I was like, "Oh, we are."
Oh my god.
So like, I put it in park, and then I rolled down the window, but then I'm still fiddling to get my stuff, and she's like, "You have to put your hands on the wheel." Like I was like, "Oh no, I'm so stressed." Anyways, she looked at my long last name and goes, "Oh, I have one of those too," and was laughing because she had a super long last name. So I was like, "Oh, we're feeling it. We're okay." She said I was doing a 74. She clocked me at 74 and a 55. But then she went to her car for a while. I'm freaking out, and she comes back and she's like, you seem really nice. Your last name's super long. I'm only going to charge you for like 5 over the speed limit. So no points on my license. Like we're doing just fine. But the ticket was $152. Oh my goodness. I had some co-op store gift cards from doing notes last semester that I didn't use for books because I didn't have any books to buy, just websites. So then I was like, "Hey, who wants to buy these from me?" And that took forever. But I paid it off. The ticket's paid. And also I didn't pay $152 not to, so I'm framing the ticket and it's going on my wall.
I like that.
And I'll never speed again. I made it home in 50 minutes the other day. It should take an hour and 20. And my mom's like, "You're home a half an hour early." She's like, "Did you like leave?" I'm like, "No, I just might have
I love that EJ's just so speedy.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, like when there's no cars and it's just you're like cruising.
Yeah.
the EJ almost blew up the room.
Yeah.
I don't know what is going on.
I'm just getting really into it.
Yeah, it's okay. John is very guilty of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes too.
Sometimes.
We all are.
Yeah.
And that mic is
But-
I think that's just the mic. So just funny.
We'll figure it out. Still a rookie crew in a way.
Yeah.
Here, so
We're getting there.
Also, we
we'll
were
get
never
there.
like formally taught how to use any of this equipment either.
We just watched.
Yeah.
But we got this, guys.
We
Like,
must-
I mean, okay. I say that we were never formally taught how to use radio equipment, like
Yes.
you know, all the things like the transmitter and the computer. You know what I mean?
But
like,
they don't really teach you
but
how to
like-
hook up a
yeah,
keyboard.
but like live sound on the
Yeah.
radio, like mics and like
'Cause
instruments.
we're the only show that gets to do this, which is crazy. It's why
And
we
also
want
best
best
show.
specialty show.
Yeah.
Best
So-
specialty show.
We still are bringing that up every single episode.
We must.
We are the
staple.
reigning specialty show champions.
We're
So
going-
we
we're
can
going
keep
for
saying
year
that.
2.
We are. We're trying.
Absolutely.
And thank goodness that Julia was our first.
Yeah,
guest,
honestly,
'cause
I think we recorded this episode, and me and EJ are gonna go. Me and EJ are gonna go fiddle with it after and see if we can get it up on YouTube tonight or
Yes.
tomorrow. So
Yeah.
look out for that.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a YouTube channel?
We're gonna get one.
We do? Because
No, we don't. It's on.
I would say that one's definitely
Well,
Jake's.
I'll see if I can get Jake Yeomans to give me the password for his. Just
Why don't we
kidding.
just
No, we
make
could
our
just make
own?
one.
Why is this?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love-
because it's under Jake Yeoman's name too, and I feel like
Right.
he wouldn't
He wouldn't appreciate
care,
us.
but like he's not on it.
I
You know,
love it. Just blow
he's
up
mentioned enough.
Jake
but
Yeomans.
he's like an honorary member. If he was still
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I remember because again, some of the radio people were like, "It doesn't matter if you stick it on your own YouTube channel." I'm like, "Yeah, but this is a collective thing."
Yeah,
you know?
no,
like, we
we
should have
want-
it. Like how
we wanna
IRB
brand it.
has
We're trying
its
to build
channel.
a franchise for sure.
We should get an Instagram. No,
I know. I want
Like,
to try
we
to.
should work.
We should get an
That's actually not
Instagram.
the worst
That's
idea.
not the worst idea ever.
We're getting carried away here.
All
I'm sorry,
anyways,
we
can-
we're
we can talk
planning
about
on
this off
air.
air.
Yeah.
Before we sign off, anyone in the room have anything they wanna say or get off their chest in regard to anything, maybe advice or just something to help out some young freshmen who might be listening in and confused, unsure of themselves, or not, or feeling great about themselves.
I have no words for freshmen.
Okay.
I'm sure.
All right. And
Anyways,
I have some advice for everyone.
please.
I just think we should all love one another and speak up for what is right.
agreed.
And that's all I have to say.
Woo! Amen
Wow.
to that.
I think that's a good way to end it.
Yeah, absolutely. Julia, anywhere where people can find your content online, streaming.
SoundCloud is Golden Child 6. The 6 is like the number, not the letters.
Heck yeah.
And I have an Instagram where I post little snippets of my songs. It's just Julia_Coler. It's private. I don't know if I'll let you follow me, but
You might
But
get the
if-
privilege.
Brave
Yeah.
yourself.
Brave yourself.
Yeah. Why are you worthy of her content?
Yeah.
I love
You
it.
have 140 characters.
Local Limelight 90.1 WIUPFM. John, Big Play. Do you want to send us out?
Sure, yeah. I think you did my job for me, though, pretty darn well. This is Big Play J, EJ DJ, DJ EJ,
DJ EJ.
The Mogul.
The Mogul.
Thank you so much, Julia. We are the reigning specialty show
Oh my God. Okay,
winners.
well,
It's
let's wrap
time
it
to-
up, John.
Time to fade
Just
out.
do not forget that, folks. All right. From Big Play J and everyone else in the studio, good night, folks, and God bless you.